Want to speak real English from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at EnglishClass101.com.
Want to finally start speaking in your target language? In this guide, you'll discover the top 7 ways to practice speaking on your own with our lessons. Let's begin. Number 1, shadowing. Shadowing is a proven learning technique where all you do is repeat what you hear in order to practice speaking. So, access any audio or video lesson on the site and press the play button to start. Then, as you listen or watch, just repeat the conversations. Or, even easier, read along out loud with the dialogue section. The script is right there in front of you. With our lessons, you can master entire conversations, just like that. Number 2, read out loud. I just mentioned it, but reading out loud is another powerful tactic and deserves its own mention. With every lesson, you get written transcripts and translations. So, as you play the lesson, read the dialogue out loud as you hear it. Why? By reading out loud, you're also practicing your speaking skills. You can do this with the lesson notes, the lesson transcript, or the dialogue tool. With the dialogue tool, you can listen to each line again and again, and repeat out loud until you master them all. Number 3, speed up your reading to speed up your speaking. Being able to speak without thinking is a sign of language mastery. If you're talking to a native and can respond quickly, they'll assume that you're fairly fluent. How can you do this? When you read out loud, try increasing your speed a little bit every time. So, start by reading with the dialogue tool. If you're like most learners, you'll read the first line slowly. That's because you're still getting used to the words, which is okay. Reread it. On your second try, you know most of the words, and you'll read a little faster. Reread it again. On your third try, you'll be even faster, at a native speaker's speed. And being able to read these phrases out loud and fast will help you speak fast. Number 4, record and compare yourself with native speakers. In order to sound like a native speaker, you must imitate native speakers. So here's how. Access the voice recorder, which is in the Dialogue Study tool in every lesson. Click on the microphone icon. Listen to the native speaker's audio, and then record yourself. You can then compare the 2 recordings side by side, and practice and try again and again until you perfect your pronunciation. Number 5, get feedback from our Premium Plus teacher. If you're learning by yourself and don't have access to real teachers, then you can always get feedback from our Premium Plus teachers. With the My Teacher tool, you can record yourself speaking and send the audio file to the teacher. They'll review it and tell you what to improve and how. That's it. Number 6, level up your speaking with Premium Plus assignments. With Premium Plus, you can also get assignments that cover reading, writing, listening, and even speaking from your teacher. These assignments can be tailored to your goals and needs. You get a new one every week, or anytime you're ready for a new one. Number 7, get even more lessons in the lesson library. If you want even more lessons on speaking and conversations, visit our lesson library and under Category, choose Conversation. You'll get all of the pathways and lessons that are focused on speaking. If you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share it with anyone who's trying to learn a language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. And if you're ready to finally learn language the fast, fun, and easy way, and start speaking from your very first lesson, get our complete learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account right now. Click the link in the description. I'll see you next time. Bye!
Welcome to our first ever evening edition of this series, because the sound in the original video was destroyed. Hi everybody, welcome back to Ask Alicia, the weekly series where you ask me questions and I answer them. Maybe. First question this week. First question this week comes from Patrick. Hi Patrick. Patrick says, I know the basic English words and I understand if someone speaks in English. For example, I understand your videos perfectly, but I have problems building correct English sentences, like when I speak with another person. Do you have any tips for how to build correct sentences? I think that this just comes with practice, honestly. It's difficult to do. But I know that there's not always a person that you can ask for help. I will tell you a secret. When I don't have confidence with something, when I don't know how to answer something, this is what I do. I Google it. Seriously, just Google it. I put quotation marks around like the phrase that I'm trying to make, and then I search Google for it. And if it's there, great. Then that means I can use it. Maybe like thousands of people have used that phrase. I know it's probably a common phrase. If there are no results, then that probably means I've made a mistake somehow. So that's maybe one good way to help you as you try to build phrases by yourself. So try that out. Next question. Next question comes from Huang Se-na. Huang Se-na, hi. I love your name, Alicia. Is Alicia a common name in the US? I happen to have a friend named Alyssa. Also, what's your personal favorite name? A common name in the US? Alicia, I don't think Alicia is so common in the US. And when I was growing up, I didn't have any other friends named Alicia. Also, the spelling of my name is a little strange. Usually it's spelled A-L-I-C-I-A. Maybe you know the artist Alicia Keys. That's how she spells her name. So my name was commonly confused as Alicia a lot. So I've heard like Allison and Alyssa and Ali and so on. Those are fairly common, I think. But Alicia, especially my spelling, is not so common actually. So, what's my favorite name? My favorite name is Obi-Wan Kenobi. Next question. Next question comes from Long. Is the H sound not always pronounced when followed by another consonant? For example, wall hanger or come back home. Yes, the H sound is often pronounced very softly. It's quite difficult to pronounce all of these syllables clearly. Like in the example, come back home, it's quite difficult to say the H sound clearly. So in those cases, it's quite common to make the H sound quite soft, like come back home. Next question. Romeo from Vietnam. Hi again, Romeo. Romeo says, hello, Alicia. Do native speakers say you aren't gonna blah, 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 or you're not gonna blah, blah, blah? Which contracted form is used more? I think they're used equally. Like, you can choose which you prefer. Me? I think I usually say you're not gonna. I probably use you are. I contract the you are. You're not gonna, or you're not gonna do something. I probably use you're not more often than you aren't gonna. Next question is from Wagner. Wagner? Have you written any operas? Why do American people pronounce English class 101 instead of 101 or 101? Oh, this relates to like university and college level courses actually. So there are 4 levels to universities or to colleges in the US. First year, second year, third year, and fourth year. So the classes for each of those are numbered. So first year classes begin with 1, second year classes with 2, third year classes with 3, fourth year classes with 4. So first year classes, like it tends to be like the basic classes, begin with a 1, and like the most basic of those classes is usually 101. So like English class 101, that's kind of making like a friendly introduction to English, in other words. So we say 101. We always use that sort of pattern when speaking. We don't say 101. We always use 101 or like 124 or like 367. I don't know what those classes are, but we always say each individual number. Nice question though, interesting. Next question is from Danny. Would you tell us about here you are, here you go, there you are, there you go, and here, there, we, you, it, they, we, go. Oh gosh, okay. I'll talk about the ones that you introduced. What do they mean and how do you use them naturally? So let's talk first about here you are and here you go. So we use these when we present someone with something. So you give someone something. Here you are, here you go. Like you are at a restaurant, maybe your order arrives. Here you are, here you go. Something like in a service situation, you might hear this kind of from like a friendly staffish, like staff-related person, I suppose. Here you are, here you go. Or maybe from a teacher to a school child, maybe. Here you go. We use it to like present something, to present an object that maybe they're expecting to receive. Let's talk then about there you go and there you are. So we use there you go when someone is able to do a thing they've been practicing for a while. So for example, if a child is learning how to ride a bicycle and they've been struggling with it for some time, but then gradually they get better at it and they can do it. A parent might say, oh, there you go, you got it, you got it. It's like a support word, an encouragement word. There you go. The last one on your list though, there you are. In American English, we use there you are in a situation where we're looking for someone. We've been looking for someone we're expecting to meet, and it's been difficult to find them. Maybe you visit a few different spots, but then at last you find this person, maybe like in a break room or someplace you might not expect them. But when you do find them and you say, oh, there you are, we say it with that sort of intonation. Oh, there you are. It sounds immediately to the listener like, oh, this person has been looking for me. Next question. Next question is from LOJ, LOJ says, my question is about phrasal verbs. What is the meaning of knocked out? Like here, example sentence 1, knocked me out of my possession. Or 2, knocked the wind out of me. I had a problem with the word possession. Knocked me out of my possession. I'm not quite sure. This could refer, though, to, in a very rare situation, we have this word possession, which refers to like this thing called demonic possession, where there's this idea that a bad spirit gets into the body and controls a person's behavior. We call that possession. So we could say like a priest knocked me out of my possession. To go back to your original question though, the word knock out as a phrasal verb, to knock out means like, it means forcefully or forcibly remove something. Because of some impact, an object is removed from its original location. So for example, a jogger could be coming at me and they run into me and they knock my phone out of my hands. So in that case, my phone is being removed because of the impact of the jogger. So to knock something out means like to remove from its original location from force. In your second example then, knocked the wind out of me. This is an expression we use which means like to lose our breath because of an impact. So if you get like punched or kicked maybe in maybe this area, you might feel the air in your lungs come out of your body. So we call that the wind in this situation. So like he knocked the wind out of me means he caused me to lose the air in my lungs. The impact was so strong in my body that the air came out of my lungs. So he knocked the wind. So the wind, in this case the air, in my lungs in its original location was removed from me because of this impact. You might also hear this expression in boxing, to knock out or to KO someone, means to cause them to lose consciousness in this case. So consciousness is the thing that's going away in this case. So to knock someone out in like a boxing match means they lose consciousness. In other words, a KO we sometimes say. The first example sentence is not actually so clear to me. So it's also possible there's an error in the original text. I don't know. Alright, so those are all the questions that I want to answer this week. Thank you very much for sending your questions to me. Remember, you can send them to me at EnglishClass101.com/ask-Alicia. Thank you very much for watching this episode of Ask Alicia, and I will see you again next week. Bye-bye! Now I'm totally paranoid about my sound working. Sound. It's still working.
Want to speak real English from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at EnglishClass101.com.
Or just a microphone. What can you do with a new mic? Hi everybody, my name is Alicia. Welcome back to Ask Alicia, the weekly series on our YouTube channel where you ask me questions and I answer them. Maybe. So please remember you can submit your questions to me at EnglishClass101.com/askalicia. First question. A lot of you have asked about what to do to get a voice that sounds like mine. When I'm making these videos, I'm specifically trying to speak clearly, so I'm clearly separating my words. The way that I talk with my friends and the way that I talk regularly is a bit different than the way that I talk on this channel. But if you want to try to get this kind of pronunciation, the best advice I have is just to repeat this kind of pronunciation. It depends on your goal. If you want to learn to speak like me or to speak like somebody else that you really admire, you should try to mimic them. That's what I do, and that's actually a strategy that I use when I study other languages as well. So if I hear something interesting, that a vocabulary word that a friend has used, like in Japanese for example, or they have a really good intonation, or just the way they deliver, the way they say something is really interesting to me, or I want to be able to use that too, I put that in my head, I think about that, and then I try to replicate that. I try to copy that, essentially. To make this explanation shorter, mimic. Mimic. If you want to learn to speak like me, mimic me. If you want to learn to speak like somebody else, try to mimic someone else. But just keep in mind that the way that I talk in these videos is different from the way that I talk in real life. Next question, what does the word lit mean? What does the word lit mean? Lit is actually a slang word. It's common slang among young people, especially in the US right now. Maybe many of you know that the verb to light has the past tense lit. Lit is used to talk about, for example, a party or some kind of social gathering usually that's really exciting or that's really, really fun or that's kind of crazy. So lit, using the past tense there, you can kind of imagine that like a fire, when you light a fire, it gets bigger and it gets kind of wild, a little bit crazy, like there's a spark and then it starts. So if you see the word lit, like this party was lit, it means it was really crazy, it was really good, it was really fun. You can use it if you want, but just keep in mind that really young people use that word. I don't use that word for reference, but again, I'm not cool. Next question, what is correct? I thought you were gone, or I thought you are gone. I thought you are gone. We need to use I thought you were gone here. I thought you were gone. So I thought, past tense, and you were is also past tense. It's a past tense thought, past tense situation. So please use past tense. Yeah. Next question, also maybe about were and was. Why do we use if I were and not if I was? This is a great question, and actually a lot of native speakers make mistakes with this. It's a small point, to be fair, but if you want to be correct, you should always use if I were. This is a grammar point. It refers to the subjunctive mood. The subjunctive mood. An explanation of subjunctive is a bit beyond the scope. It's a bit much for this video, but we will always use if I were. When the subject there is I in the conditional, if I were, we always use were. You will hear native speakers say if I was, if I was. If you want to be extremely strict and extremely nitpicky, were is actually the correct one, but if you use was, if you make a mistake and you use was, you will still be understood. So, but yes, this is related to the subjunctive mood in English. Next question. Okay, next one isn't really a question, but something I have noticed that many of you do. You like to put the article a or an before your adjective, before an adjective, but you forget to use a noun. Do you know how like Mario introduces himself and he says, "It's a me"? When you forget to use some kind of noun after your adjective or whatever, that you sound a bit like Mario's. It's a nice, it's a nice, it's a nice what? It's funny to me, like, it's a nice, or it's a me. You need to include the noun that you're referring to. It's a nice video, or it's a nice explanation. It's nice, or it's bad, or it's good, or this was a nice explanation. But don't forget to use your noun after you use the adjective. It's a nice something. It's a good something. It's a bad something. So please, no article without a noun. Make sure to use your noun, and it should be in the singular form. If you're using a or an, you need to use the singular form of the noun. Don't sound like Mario. Next question. What does it mean they can't take that away from me? Who are they? And what does take away mean? We use the word they to mean generally just other people outside of us. This is used a lot to talk about like news or to talk about general opinion. They say that this pizza is the best pizza in the city right now. They say that your English will only improve if you study every day. They say that the most difficult thing you can do in your life is move to another country. They is just anyone. Second point, what does take away mean? Take away means to some object that belongs in one location is removed from that location. Like take away food. In American English, we use take out, actually. But take away food is a similar idea, especially like in British English, take away. So you take away your food from the restaurant. So you're taking something else. You're removing your food from the restaurant. So in the expression, they can't take that away from me, they, meaning
Other people outside you can't take something away from you. Next one. What does the phrase "don't be a creep"? Don't be a creep mean? I think Michael talked about this on an old English topics video. So I talked in a live stream about the word creepy, adjective creepy. So something that causes like nervous suspense is something that's creepy. The word creep is used as a noun. Don't be a creep. A person who is creepy. A guy can be a creep. A girl can be a creep. So a creep is someone who causes creepy feelings. Like, oh, something bad might happen. I feel nervous. Like, that person's a little strange, a little weird. That person is a creep. He's a creep. She's a creep. So don't be a creep means you should not behave like a creep. Don't create nervous feelings in the other person. Don't be a creepy person. Don't be a creep. Everybody, that's good advice. Don't be a creep. Don't be a creep. Try to be a nice and understanding and respectful person, always. Next question. Oh, that was my last one for this week. All right, so those are my favorite questions, or the questions that I wanted to talk to you about this week. I hope that those are some useful points for you. And if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know at englishclass101.com/askalicia. That's where you can submit your questions to me. It makes it very easy for me to check and see all the questions in one place. So definitely check that out. I think you can sign in with your regular englishclass101.com account and submit as many questions as you want. And then I'll choose what I like and what I want to talk about. And of course, if a lot of you ask the same question, I'll definitely try to answer that too. So please check that out, englishclass101.com/askalicia. Thanks very much for watching this episode of Ask Alicia, and I'll see you again next week. Bye!
What are the things I can do with my microphone, I wonder? I feel like I had some ideas for this when I was laying in bed last night, and now I've forgotten them all. Oh, now I can take my videos on the road and be like a golf reporter. Yes, the ball is rolling. Why am I Russian? I'm a Russian golf reporter now. Oh, maybe I'll be a beatboxer. How do you do that?
Hi everybody, my name is Alicia, and today we're going to be talking about 10 of the hardest words to pronounce according to you guys. So we collected some information from you on Facebook. Thanks very much for sending in your ideas. And these were the top 10 most difficult words for you to pronounce. So let's get started. Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely might be tough to pronounce. Absolutely means 100%. Absolutely is an agreement phrase. Are you going to that music event next week? Absolutely. Yes, 100%, definitely. Absolutely. Loot, like a lute. L-U-T-E. Begrime. Begrime apparently means dirty. I have never heard nor used this word before, but perhaps it's difficult to pronounce. Begrime. The door to my apartment was begrimed in the storm last week. Breakfast. The next word is breakfast. Breakfast is hard to pronounce, but that is the meaning of breakfast. You're breaking the fast. So a fast is a period of time without eating, and to break means well, in this case, breaking something. It doesn't refer to like crushing a thing, but stopping something. To break the fast of the night, in other words. So you're fasting during the night, you're not eating, so you wake up in the morning, you break the fast. But we don't say break fast, we say breakfast. In a sentence, this morning for breakfast, I ate a bowl of cereal with grapes, and I had a coffee too. Colleague. Colleague, yes, colleague. Many of my students struggle with this. They say colleague, or they say colleague or something, because the spelling of this word is really, really strange. There's that G-U-E at the end. Or more commonly, I feel, it's just coworker. Colleague sounds slightly more formal to me than coworker. Somebody who you work with, or somebody who you have a business relationship with in some sense. Could be a person from another company, could be somebody from your own company. Anyone who you do business dealings with is your colleague, can be your colleague. In a sentence, I'm going to a networking event with my colleagues next week. Miscellaneous. That M-I-S-C, miscellaneous. It's just the spelling, I think, maybe is confusing for this word, miscellaneous. Miscellaneous just means other stuff, or just other uncategorized stuff. I keep a lot of miscellaneous items in a drawer in my house. Maybe they don't really fit into one category, like it's not kitchen things, it's not clothing. It's just sort of a mixture of things, miscellaneous things. Negotiation. The next word is negotiation. Negotiation, yeah, there are two T's in this, but neither T is a hard T. They're both very soft, that sh sound, because they're followed by the I and another vowel, the she
a negotiation. Negotiation refers to a compromise between two people. You're trying to make a decision and you negotiate. In this case, that's the noun form, negotiation. Business negotiations continued for more than a month with this important deal. Realm. Realm, I see why this one's hard. It's that realm part, little realm. It's a weird word, isn't it? It's used to talk about just like the kind of a fantasy world is sort of the nuance of this phrase, the realm. In a sentence, let us go to the realm where the elves live and eat their bread. Unfortunately. The next word is unfortunately. 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 It just means too bad. You can use this to start bad news, for example. Like, unfortunately, I can't come to work today because I'm sick. Or, unfortunately, I broke my arm at the basketball game last week. Or, unfortunately, my haircut is bad. Vocabulary. 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 Vocabulary just refers to the words in a language. My vocabulary in my second language is really, really low. I need a bigger vocabulary so that I can express myself more clearly. World. World. Ah, I see why this one's hard. World, world, hard to pronounce. That RLD, I think, together is tough. Plus that W at the beginning as well. It's such a short word, but you have to say so many weird things at the same time. World. Your tongue is going blah, blah, like this. In a sentence, I have traveled all over the world, and the best food is in my stomach. That's the end. So those were 10 hard to pronounce words. Give them a try slowly at first and just kind of try to work up to saying it at a more natural speed if you like. Thank you so much for sharing your opinions with us on Facebook. And please make sure to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss out on any of this fun information. So thanks again for watching today, and we'll see you again next time. Bye! You don't need new shoes, you need new feet.
Want to speak real English from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at EnglishClass101.com.
Why is the Jurassic Park theme song coming out? Hi everybody, my name is Alicia, and today we're going to be talking about 15 questions that you should know. So these are 15 questions that not necessarily you need to know how to ask them. Perhaps you know some of the questions already, but you will probably also hear these questions as well. So we'll practice a few different answers for these questions too. So let's get started. Do you like American food? The first question is, do you like American food? You will probably be asked this question. Do you like American food? You can either say yes or no, or you can give a specific example. Someone says, do you like American food? Yes, I love Philly cheesesteaks. I would recommend saying yes or a little, or you can just say, I don't know. What do you recommend? Have you been to the United States? The next question is, have you been to the United States? Have you been to the United States? So if someone asks you, have you been to the United States? You should reply with either, yes, I have, or no, I haven't. Or maybe, no, I haven't yet, but I want to. When you want to ask someone this question, you can say, have you been to Japan? Have you been to Egypt? Have you been to China? Whatever. You can use your own country when you ask this question. How are you? How are you? When someone asks, how are you? Don't say, I'm fine, thank you, and you? Please don't say that. Please say something more natural, like good, great, I'm good, how are you? Something like that is much better than I'm fine, thank you, and you. Be a little more genuine in your reply. Also, when you ask this question, maybe one point to help you sound a little more natural when you ask someone else. Don't, try to say, how are you? How are you? Instead of, how are you? Or, and make sure your intonation is correct. I've had a few people ask me, how are you? Like a little too, like, yeah, with this question, or like, how are you? But how are you should be the intonation with this. How are you? How are you? Is a little bit more natural. How long have you been studying English? How long have you been studying English? How long have you been studying English? Great question to know the answer to. Your answer should be, I have been studying English for blah, blah, blah years, or blah, blah, blah months, or blah, blah, blah weeks. But if that's too much for you, you can just use the time. How long have you been studying English? 6 years. How long have you been studying English? 2 months. So just pick the time if the whole sentence is quite long for you. How old are you? We don't really go around asking people how old they are, like just the first time you meet them necessarily, especially if they're older. much older than you. Like, in particular, it's sometimes considered rude to ask, especially women, how old they are. So just be careful with this question. But if you're about the same age group, maybe you're at an event or a party or something and you just want to check how old the other person is, you can use this phrase. When you reply to this, just say, I'm plus the number, to make a really simple response. So how old are you? I'm 15. How old are you? I'm 42. Whatever the answer is, just stick I'm in front of it. Not I, but I'm. I am. But use the contracted form to sound more natural. I'm number. If you want to make a full sentence, you can say I'm number years old. Don't forget that S in years. I'm 1,000,000 years old. What did you say? What did you say? If you couldn't quite hear something that someone else said, you can use this question to confirm. Sorry, what did you say? It's a little nicer than just saying, what? What did you say? Or what did you just say? Sorry, what did you say? I couldn't hear you. What's this? What's this when you don't know what something is? What's this? When you're out for dinner, you're out for lunch or something and you find a new food, you're curious, just say, what's this? To reply to this question, just say, it's blah, blah, blah. What's your name? What's your name? Of course, you should know how to ask this question and how to answer this question. What's your name is a little more natural than what is your name. Again, contracted form will help you sound much more natural. So what's your name? Someone asks you, you can just give your name. Alicia. That's fine. You can say Alicia. You can say I'm Alicia. That's fine too. You can say my name is or my name's Alicia. Either, any of those are fine. In a more formal situation, a business situation, I would use my name is blah, 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 while I shake hands or something. What's your phone number? The next one is, what's your phone number? I would not ask this question right away. Like, maybe you've met the person a few times, but you would like to contact them, whether it's because you're romantically interested in them or because you want to be better friends with them. But just, if you meet someone for the first time and you're like, what's your phone number? It's like a little... It's a little too much. So use this question after you've met the person a few times and you want to become better friends. When you want to give your phone number, just say it's and the number. That's fine. Just it's blah, blah, blah. Or my phone number is blah, blah, blah with the number 555-1,000,526. When is your birthday? So maybe you want to plan a birthday party, for example, or it's just another fun question the first time you meet someone. When is your birthday? So when you want to tell someone your birthday, just give the month and the date. January 15th, August 42nd. That's a real day. If you want to make a full sentence, you can say my birthday is month, date. Where are you from? The next question is, where are you from? This can refer to your country or your city, but I feel like more stuff in it refers to your country. So where are you from? Your answer should be, I'm from place. I'm from China. I'm from Japan. I'm from Vietnam. I'm from America. Whatever. I'm from bleh. Where did you learn English? The next question is, where did you learn English? Where did you learn English? If you're speaking great English, you can say, I learned English at EnglishClass101.com. Because you did, because you're watching now. Anyway, where did you learn English? In this case, in the case of like these videos, I learned English online, or I learned English from, and then the school name or the program name. So I learned English from EnglishClass101.com, for example. If you studied English at university, you can say, I learned English at university. Or I learned English from my friends, perhaps. Where do you live? Where do you live? Depending on the situation where you're asked this can mean your country, like I live in America, I live in China. Sometimes it's about the place in the city where you live, sometimes it's about the country where you live. So you can kind of feel, I think, which type of question is being asked. Where do you work? Where do you work is talking about your job. You can use the pattern, I work at company name, or I work for company name. Either is fine. I work at ABC Company. I work for ABC Company. Either is okay. But, if you have answered with the wrong information, the other person will just ask you, like, oh, I mean, where is your office? Or, oh, I mean, which company do you work for? Use the force for this one. Where is the bathroom? Where is the bathroom? Very important question. Where is the bathroom? In American English, where is the bathroom or where is the restroom is more common than where is the toilet. Using the word toilet is a little bit too direct in American English, so I recommend bathroom or restroom. So those are 15 questions that you should definitely know. Know how to ask these questions and know how to answer these questions. They are very useful and very important for everyday conversation. Thanks very much for joining us. Thank you very much for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed yet, please be sure to do so that you can check our fun stuff every week. With that, we will see you again next time. Bye!
Want to improve reading in your target language? In this guide, you'll discover the top 10 ways to practice reading with our lessons and learning program. Let's begin. Number 1, start a lesson and read along with the lesson notes. With every lesson, you get bonus lesson notes. These give you the lesson in writing, the dialogue, the vocabulary, and the grammar explanations. So, as you listen to a lesson, read along with the lesson notes. By listening and reading along, you hear how each word is pronounced and can easily keep up. Number 2, read with the dialogue study tool. With the dialogue study tool, you get the line-by-line breakdown of a lesson's conversation. You get the text, the translation, the audio, and, if applicable, the romanization, so you can read and listen to each line individually. To practice your reading, reread and review each line until you master it. Then, move on to the next line. You get this feature in every one of our lessons. Number 3, read along with the lesson transcript. You also get transcripts with every lesson. These are word-for-word scripts of everything that was said in the lesson and are completely free to access. So use these to read along. Number 4, download the PDF notes and transcripts. Want to practice reading on your own time? Save the lesson notes and transcripts as PDFs to your device and keep them forever. That way, you can open them up and practice reading at any time. You can also print the PDFs out to keep as physical reading material. Number 5, practice with extensive reading books. Extensive reading is a learning tactic where you read as many books as possible at a level that's easy for you. And you follow these 2 rules. 1, you skip over words you don't know, and 2, you jump to a new book if the current one is boring. The goal is to help you master reading, vocab, and grammar simply by reading a lot without getting stuck on minor words. You can find extensive reading books from absolute beginner level to advanced. These are simple, one-line per page books, and all of the translations are on the lesson page. Simply look for the extensive reading pathways in the lesson library. You can also download these books as PDFs and print them out. Number 6, take your time and read slowly. Whether you're reading with the notes, books, or the dialogue tool, be sure to take your time. Read the lines slowly on the first try, just like a child would when they start learning to read. This is so you can get acquainted with every word. Number 7, then speed up your reading. Once you've read a line slowly and are familiar with the words, start speeding up. Reread that same line a little bit faster on the second try, and then a little faster on the third try. Doing this will help you read faster. Number 8, take the reading comprehension video lessons. These lessons are specifically designed to test your reading skills. You're presented with a real-life scenario, such as reading a sign at the train station, and are tested on the words presented on the screen. Don't worry, you get the answer at the end. And translations are available in the dialogue section. Number 9, get reading assignments from your Premium Plus teacher. You can also get assignments that cover listening, writing, speaking, and even reading from your teacher. These assignments can be tailored to your goals and needs. You get a new one every week, or anytime you're ready for a new one. Number 10, get even more lessons in the lesson library. If you want even more reading lessons, then visit our lesson library and under Category, choose Reading and Writing. You get instant access to all of the pathways and lessons that will help you master all areas of the language, including reading. And if you're ready to finally learn language the fast, fun, and easy way, and start speaking from your very first lesson, get our complete learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account right now. Click the link in the description. And if you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share it with anyone who's trying to learn a new language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. See you next time. Bye! Want to speed up your language learning? Take your very first lesson with us. You'll start speaking in minutes and master real conversations. Sign up for your free lifetime account. Just click the link in the description.